Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining today's event. Our event is How to Scale Your Business Faster with Aircall and Sugar. I'm Allie Lippman, account executive at BrainSell, and I'm going to be playing host for today. Also on the line, we have Sarah Fillmore, manager of channel partners at Aircall, and Christian Wetry, SVP and GM at Sugar. I'm so glad to have you both here.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Thank you, Allie, and thanks for everybody for listening to us for a little bit.
Absolutely. We are covering a lot in a short amount of time, so I want to make sure to jump right in. Quick agenda. This will be a 45-minute coffee break with a 15-minute discussion session followed by a 15-minute demo of Aircall and Sugar. After about 10 minutes of Q&A, we'll wrap up. And just as a reminder, throughout this webinar, you can type your questions into that question box on the side of GoToWebinar and submit them. We will answer them during the Q&A session or follow up with you after the webcast. We have a poll to get us started, so I'm going to launch that. Our poll question is, what type of phone system is your company currently using? Can everybody see the poll? All right, we've got some responses coming in right now. We've got about 75% on a cloud-based phone platform. So the options were traditional hardware-based phone systems, cloud-based, Aircall, or primarily using our cell phones. We do have some folks that are primarily using their cell phones. I get it, for sure. All right, we've got about 67% voted. Anybody else want to get their answers in the last minute? Well, great. I think then we have cloud-based phone platforms coming in here as the winner. So pretty interesting. I'm so excited to have you all as part of this conversation that we're about to have with that in mind. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to ask a few questions. We'll probably take about the next 15 minutes to have our panelist discussion, and I'm really excited to talk to you both, Sarah and Chris, today. So first question, this is for both of you. With the advent of digital channels for prospecting and handling support issues, we often hear that the phone is dead. What role do you think the phone plays in sales and customer experience today? Why don't you go first, Sarah?
Awesome. Yeah, I love this question because I think, you know, in a way, the traditional phone is dead. The way that we have all been doing business, especially over the last 2 years, has completely shifted. And I know personally that when I left the office in February of 2020, I left my desk phone on my desk and I haven't picked it up since then, and I have not missed it, right? I think with this shift of both businesses moving to a hybrid work schedule and also with people and customers expecting for you to know who they are when they're calling in, the traditional phone in and of the sense of that physical desk phone that is sitting somewhere on someone's desk, it is dead. So I work at Aircall, right? We sell cloud-based phone software. So what am I doing saying that phones are dead? Like, that's bad for business. I think that, you know, the way that people use voice and the way that people use phones has shifted based on the changing environments and people's expectations. So if I call into, I don't know, with an airline, right? And, you know, maybe there was an issue with my flight or I need to make a change to my booking. When I call, I expect the person on the other end to know who I am, why I'm calling, the business I've done with them in the past, any previous interactions I've had. And I want that to be addressed before I've even picked up the phone so that I don't have to explain myself before getting into the root of the issue. You can't do that with a phone system that isn't integrated with your leading tools that you already have at your company, like Sugar. And so I really think that, you know, people want to talk to people. People want the option of using voice for their customer success, for their sales, for their support, but they want to do it in a way that isn't just calling, having someone picking up the phone and doing that due diligence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, from our side, I think, we feel the pressure of our customers wanting to have more and more engagement channels with their customers. Especially the last couple of years, we've seen almost a desperate need to, how do I reach out and connect with our customers and our prospects, and people have gotten really creative on how they've done that. We have customers who use Microsoft Teams to reach out. They use Zoom, they use Aircall, they use SMS text messages more than they used to. But like Sarah's saying, phone is still very important. Voice is really important, especially in sales. I think, the ability to have an open-ended discussion, to be able to hear somebody's voice, to be able to have a free-form discussion. That's how you, in sales, identify opportunity. Where do you hear there is a need? If you don't have those conversations with your customers and your prospects, you're not finding opportunities. And conversely, if you do have conversations with your customers and prospects, and you're any way a decent salesperson, you will find opportunities. So it's not sufficient to reach out with email. It's not sufficient to reach out with SMS. You have to have those conversations. And for the sales managers out there, I would insist on basically making sure that you provide your team with a way to have effective conversations with your customers. And because if they do so, and they're well-trained salespeople, they will find opportunity in that. And that is something that we need. Those opportunities won't come from an SMS text, or it won't come at the same type of level. So critically important to have a good integrated voice solution to facilitate those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, we did the same thing, Sarah, when we went home for the pandemic. We adopted Aircall, and having that tight integration and being able to jump right into the customer context is so important, I think. So just to kind of go off that cloud-based phone system, can you help me understand what is a cloud-based phone system and why it's better than a traditional desk phone?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I touched on a little bit that we all left our desk phones at home, right? So how does Aircall work? What is a cloud-based phone system? It is a phone system that lives completely on either the desktop of your computer or as like an app on your cell phone. You can access it anywhere on the go, working from home, working in the office, anywhere in the world. So you're able to use a full phone system completely over the internet, connected to any of your tools, like Sugar, which allows you to have that better transparency and visibility into what you're doing. I think a big piece here is like, when you buy a desk phone, it's only as good as it is on that first day that you buy it, right? Like, you bought the best technology, you have the best thing for your employees, you want, a really well-functioning phone. And when you put it on your desk that day, that's as good as it's getting. But with a tool like Aircall, it keeps improving. There are updates and advancements all the time that make it really enjoyable and allow you to keep up with consumer demand and provide a great experience. This makes it far more cost effective because you always have the latest available rather than having to consistently be buying new hardware models.
Yeah, and the one thing I just piggyback on that, Sarah, I think it's a great response, but 25% of our attendees said that they're primarily using their cell phones. And this is something that I hear from our prospects and customers all the time. How do they take that activity that we do on our cell phones and get that up into the CRM without doing a bunch of clicks and all that? And so going to a cloud-based phone system really meets you where you're at. You're able to use it no matter where you're at, whether it's on your cell phone or on your desktop. So
yeah, exactly.
When do you think companies are ready for a tool like Aircall?
If you have a sales or success or support team who are on the phones, it's a pretty good indicator that they would benefit from using a cloud-based phone system. If you have a hybrid workforce where you have people coming into the office and also working from home, they're not going to bring that desk phone with them, right? So that's also a pretty strong indicator. We support companies anywhere from a minimum of 3 seats all the way up to thousands. And so if you have 2 salespeople and you also have maybe you want to put your HR team and your marketing team on there, we can support that as well. So we're very multi-use case, and as long as you have 3 seats ready to go, we can support it.
Excellent. So I'm going to punt this one over to Chris. We're here to show the integration between Aircall and Sugar today. Talk to us a little bit about computer telephony integration and why it's so important.
Yeah, it allows us, the whole promise of a cloud-based CRM is that you can work from anywhere. So that was our promise from the beginning, that we didn't necessarily require a whole lot of infrastructure to support our team out there. And again, going back to, what we're all getting sick and tired of hearing about the last couple of years, it forced us even more in that direction. I think, I've seen a couple of funny cartoons about how COVID caused digital transformation more than any CIO in history, right? It accelerated our need to do this. So, so we have the foundation here at Sugar for a cloud-based CRM, a tool that you can take anywhere. You could take it whether you're working from home or you're traveling around. We have the foundational tool. But then having a matching tool, the cloud-based telephone that matches the cloud-based CRM and allow you to continue having those interactions, the voice-based interactions wherever you are, really important to do it. And being able to look at the CRM tool and just click on a contact, click on a phone number and dial it, that is a big productivity time saver. We're all about like eliminating busy work and avoiding people from doing silly things when we deploy software solutions. So being able to quickly click on the dial and interact with the contact information, being able to record that back into the system, to make notes about what your calls were in a kind of a seamless way, that adds a ton of value to our sales and customer service rep type of users. So anything we see there is really important. And one I think one observation is that phone system used to be like a monolithic thing. It used to be one system that you invested in. Now it's just another channel. You can invest in a few users of Aircall. You could have something else that's suitable for something else. You could have that. You could have multiple voice methods available to your user at any time. And we see our customers more mixing and matching that way. So Aircall, great option, great integration into Sugar. It really fulfills that whole cloud availability of both the software system and the communications channel.
Yeah, do you have anything to add to that on just the topic of integration, Sarah? I mean, Aircall just has this incredible, rich marketplace of integrations, and I think that's one of the important differentiators is how we draw that data together from our voice channels. Do you have anything to speak to here?
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, I love that you touched on this and talked about like time savers. I think point blank, cloud-based integrations equal less duplicate entry, which equals more productive reps. Have you ever heard a sales rep say, more admin work or data work? Yes, super excited. No, we want to enable our sales reps to be able to do what they do best, which is sell. And the big win here is that with cloud-based integrations, reps are able to do more calls, have more important meetings, because the busy work is done with the integrations. I think additionally, having it integrated with your CRM equals better analytics around call results. It can help to drive better decisions, and it can help to increase sales. Because all of the information that you need is going to log into the CRM from Aircall, you'll be able to do things like see call activity, listen to call recordings, and then view custom tags all on that record. And the people who are on the phone have the easier experience now, since everything is logged automatically. They aren't having to log it after the fact. And I think ultimately this means like when you have the full picture, when you're using tools that are integrated with and talking to each other, you provide better customer experience, you provide better sales experience. And when you have the full picture of like what you're coming into, either as a sales or support rep, you have more power to drive quick decisions and quick action.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, this one is for both of you. What trends should companies be monitoring when it comes to customer experience and growth over the next 12 months and beyond? I'll let you take it first, Chris.
Yeah, so I think, for us at Sugar, we care about sentiment and analysis of sentiment. That's something that we see coming in very quickly. Being able to quickly review recorded calls is important. the volume continues to stay as an important measure for us. Just the productivity of salespeople, that you can't argue with the basic statistics of the salesperson that's able to speak to more contacts and have more interactions is always more successful than those who do not. Early in my sales career, I had a completely analog experience where I was sit down in front of a big catalog of every single business in New Jersey and asked to make phone calls and set up appointments. It was a very humbling experience. But what I did learn was the person on our team that made the most calls was the most successful person consistently. So being able to record every single call, so like with a tool like Aircall, for instance, integrated into Sugar, and having a definite record of every single call allows us to create those basic measures of productivity, and it remains to this day an effective measure of productivity, simple but effective measure of productivity.
Great, Sarah.
Yeah, I think building on that, it's like the buzzword that we all hear to kind of describe what Chris mentioned is omni-channel, right? We've seen more businesses reaching towards and switching to omni-channel, and I think Chris, you touched on this a few questions ago as well. Like you have customers who are using Aircall and they're using other tools like Zoom and they're using a chat system and they're all talking to each other because really what they're doing is they're providing their clients with options to reach them in a multitude of different ways. I think like potential and existing customers want to reach you however they want to reach you. You can't just put a chat box on your site and hope for the best. It's no longer enough. To stay ahead and keep customer satisfaction, you'll need to do phone, email, chat, SMS. You know, we're hearing a lot of people say businesses should be including video. And I think that looking towards and providing that omni-channel experience while having a group of solutions that all talk to each other will provide a much better experience and allow companies to stand out in the market.
Awesome. These are great points. Thank you both so much. I am going to transition now into demo, and all of you are so lucky today because you get me on double duty as your event moderator, but also as your demo host. And hopefully this goes to show you how easy it is to adopt Aircall. If somebody like me can can do the demo, right? Can everybody see my screen? Excellent. So we're looking at Sugar CRM right now. We're looking at a lead record, and I want to point out a couple things on the screen. I believe that most people on the webinar today are Sugar users, but if not, I want to just give you a quick tour around what we're looking at here. So we have some information about our lead here, Caitlin. We know her title, we know her account name, and we are looking into our live instance. And we have our phone numbers here highlighted. You can see that they're linked out, and you can also see that there's a little green indicator. That is the Aircall Chrome extension doing its work. And in a few minutes, I'll show you what it looks like when we click to dial. But we can come right in to Sugar and get a lot of context about our lead right away. We can see what kind of marketing activities they've taken. We can bump out into the web and see if there's any information out there about Caitlin that perhaps I don't have on the record yet, and enrich some of that information down into the record. And we can give her a call. And Aircall is always going to scan and recognize phone numbers that are in your browser wherever you are, whether you're in Sugar or in another application. So if we wanted to give Caitlin a call, we could simply click on the link and it would immediately open up our Aircall application, and it has found her here. So we can give her a call. This application lives on your desktop, but it also lives on your cell phone, and it has the same exact user interface, whether you're using it here on your desktop or here on your cell phone. So I'm going to give you a quick tour around the call experience, and then I'm going to show you the other features that are on the application itself. So let's give her a call, and hopefully when I pick this up, it doesn't make a terrible noise. A couple things to note here just on the dialer. So it's going to call Caitlin's number here. I can choose which number I'm calling her from. So perhaps I have multiple numbers, or I want to just call her from our main line. I can do that just by selecting my number here. I also have text enabled here through Aircall, so I could send her a text message if that was her preferred methodology of communicating with me. So I'm going to click on our green button here to dial, and it's ringing her right now. And you can see it pulls up all of the information from Caitlin's record right here. And I've picked up the phone, and this is what it looks like when you're actually live on the phone with somebody. So you have your caller insights. This is all of our information that's being pulled down from Sugar, so we can get up to speed really quickly on who she is, what record type, etc. Then we can take notes live while we're on the phone, which is a feature that I love because I'm a vigorous note taker, and I love that I don't have to have my cell phone pressed against my ear, and I can just type my notes right here, and that they'll all go over into the CRM for me. So let me just type some notes here. Typing notes for our webcast. I'm going to click done, and I can add somebody to the call, and I can also transfer somebody to the call here as well. So I'm going to click done, and then we're able to jump right into our notes and edit them if we need to. We can also use tags here. So I'm going to use this left voicemail tag, for example. And the tags are really clever because we can use them up in Sugar to help initiate workflows and kind of categorize our calls. We can also reassign the call to somebody if we had somebody else on our team that we wanted to take action to. So that's the call experience. Let me bop around the app, and then I'll show you how it looks back in Sugar. So the application is pretty simple to use. It's basically just a soft phone dialer here, and we have a couple options. If you've missed a call, for example, you can come down into Aircall right here and be able to see any voicemails that are being left for you. So that's a really easy way to look through all of your calls, anything that's to do. So I like to keep that all there until I get to it, and then I simply archive it. So if you're on more than one Aircall line, then all of your information will come up right there. You can also see a history of calls and messages here, and then access your team members and contacts that you have that you want to reach. Just a couple other nice administrative options that you have from the application. You can mention when you're available, or if you need to go on do not receive, you can become unavailable, for example. So let's come back up into Sugar. I'm just going to do a quick refresh, and we should have our call record right up here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Taking a second to load, which is very typical, I think, on a demo. Everything takes a couple of minutes longer, right? Okay, so we have our call record. I just did this here. It's about 1:24 in the afternoon, so that makes a lot of sense. So we have our call, and we can see that that I attended and Caitlin attended, and we also have my notes and a timestamp of my notes here as well in the call record itself. So really nice and easy way to get your information from your call right into the CRM, no touch required. So next I want to show you our power dialer. I'm in a lead list right now. So this is our list view, and Aircall is recognizing the phone numbers on the screen. It's not recognizing all of them because some of them are not real phone numbers. So because this is a demo instance here, but it's identified all of these numbers, and you can add them to your power dialer and then power your way through them. So this is really nice, especially if you're somebody who does a lot of cold outreach or has a lot of calls to make. We can throw them up on a list right here and be able to just dial through them really quickly. So I love that feature, and it's just a nice perk with Aircall, makes things really easy. So that's the Sugar integration in a nutshell. I do want to show you Aircall's back end. So most of your users will be using the application for Aircall, but your administrators will be coming into Aircall's web app and dashboard to set up numbers and to look at analytics, set up users, and the integration, of course. So we have all of our numbers here in the BrainSell partner. This, again, is our live instance, which is great that we can show it because it has a lot of data in it. So you can create a number and Aircall will help you set those up. And then we have the ability to set up teams in our IVR. So for BrainSell specifically, when you call in, you can access accounting, you can access the sales team or a support team, and we have certain rules for these different teams. Then you have some live statistics, and that actually we get a lot of really nice dashboards with Aircall, which I love. We're able to get some insights into what we're doing and what maybe we can do better, which is so cool. If you come over into the activity feed, you can actually see what's happening live. So you can see your activities and your team's activities, and you can also listen and coach as well right from Aircall. So again, super easy to set up. Integrations, another piece of this. So you'll have your Sugar integration right from within Aircall, and you can also look at the other countless integrations that Aircall has with other applications that your business might be using, where we want to bring information into the Aircall application or push our call information into those applications. So very simple integration, but super effective and gains you a lot of efficiencies when you are tracking call data inside Sugar.
I love that power dial feature, being able to queue up a whole bunch of calls like that and just power through them. That's keeping my sales hat on. I do like that.
Yes, I love that too. Okay, great. We are going to go into our Q&A now. So we have a couple questions that have rolled in. The first one is, if we have custom fields built out in Sugar, do those pull into Aircall? And the answer is yes, that is configurable. So we are able to roll our custom fields into Aircall during configuration. I have a couple others here. How much does this cost? Aircall, I think is what they're looking for.
Awesome. I can take that one. So Aircall is, our packages start at $30 a user per month. We have two packages, Professional and Essentials, and everything is inclusive of all, minutes, both inbound and outbound to US and Canada.
Great. Yeah, and in the integration, there is an integration fee that is included. However, you do get unlimited users, outstanding support, etc. So there's a lot of perks to the subscription fee as well, and that is $1,900 a year. All right, a question from the audience for Sarah and Ali. What does the setup of Aircall involve, and how hard is it to implement Aircall? So I'll let you take that first, Sarah.
Awesome. The setup for Aircall is super quick and very easy. You can set it up and be making and receiving calls within minutes. And I think especially using both Aircall and Sugar, working with a team like BrainSell makes the setup even easier because you get to leverage their team of experts to make sure all of your processes and workflows are exactly how you want them. But Aircall alone could be up and running in less than 5 minutes.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think just from our experience setting it up, we did it ourselves and we found it extremely easy to set up. So yeah, just to kind of piggyback on that, I think it's pretty user friendly. All right. The final question I have is, what does enabling the integration between Aircall and Sugar look like? It's a great question as well. So we give you a package that you can install inside Sugar, and then you simply hook that up and authenticate on the Aircall side, and you're rocking and rolling. So it's pretty simple from the implementation standpoint as well, and we can help you out with that. Although we have a handful of customers that use this integration, and most of them don't pull us in even to help them set up. So it's pretty well documented, just a step-by-step process. Okay, I do have one other question here that came in. Can the phone number showing up on the customer end be configured to something else like the company's main number?
Yes, so we can bring in any sort of phone numbers that you're using with different carriers over to Aircall. So if your company is using a main phone number with a different provider and you want to move it over into Aircall, you can go ahead. We have an internal porting team who can help to support that. And then that main phone number that you'd be using would reflect the same for customers.
All right, any other questions? Last call. Okay, I do want to, oops. I wanted to not pause my screen share. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent, awesome. So I just wanted to thank everybody for attending, and thank you so much to Sarah and Chris as well for the wonderful conversation that we had this afternoon. As a reminder, if you schedule a meeting for a deeper dive with us, you'll be entered to win a Yeti cooler. They're really nice. So I'll be scheduling the call just for the cooler. We will share the recording and we'll be following up with you later this week to get your feedback on content and schedule any next steps. And also your Starbucks gift cards will be sent shortly. So again, thank you so much, Sarah and Chris, and thank you everybody for attending, and have a great rest of the week.